Hello and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, please subscribe, like, and don't forget to share your thoughts on what you think about this video. Confessions. Of late, there has been quite a number of Israelis who have been coming out in the open to just share different atrocious acts that they did or were taught to do by their government, especially to Palestinians. Now, mostly the people who confess are ex-Israeli soldiers. Now, I've been trying to understand why. Could it be guilt, or would it be that this is when they are realizing how bad their government is by making them hate on innocent people or do certain things to Palestinians? A few days ago, I shared a video of an ex-Israeli soldier sharing secrets about the time he was sent to protect settlements in Gaza, where he said that that's when he started changing, when he saw how Israel was slowly expanding and taking over Palestinian land. The video I'm about to share today is no different, because another ex-Israeli Defense Force soldier shares how people only hear good things about Israel when Israelis believe in puking themselves in the foot and blame the Palestinians for it. Now, she talks about a lot of atrocious acts Israel has done, but have gotten away with it. Here is the video.
Do you know who I am? I speak on behalf of the Jewish people. My name is Anat Morad and I'm from Israel. Have you heard of Israel? You have? Well, I hope you heard only good things. We in Israel believe in shooting ourselves in the foot. We don't waste any time. We do exactly everything upside down, because that way we can be special, God's chosen people. After we shoot ourselves in the foot, we blame the Palestinians, because to blame the Palestinians is a very special honor that only we get to do. Do you ever get to blame Palestinians for what you do, your crimes? It's much easier to go through life that way, trust me, especially when we are the biggest criminals in the world. Do you remember when we bombed King David Hotel long time ago? No? Good, forget about that. Remember what we did to the flotilla to Gaza? You don't? Good, stay ignorant, it's good for us. And if you have, full leftist, how dare you be educated and know what's going on? Anyway, I wanted to tell you about my stupid, crazy sister. She refused to be a soldier. Is she crazy? Why refuse to be a soldier? It's a good thing to die for a piece of land. But she refused to be a soldier without even one lie. And using the psychiatrist, I told you she's crazy. She used to go to the psychiatrist all the time in the army and cry and say, I don't want to be in the army. Well, and they used to make her wait for hours to see the psychiatrist. So she would be waiting in this hall room with usually 6 other men soldiers, and they would be crying and crying. And she'd tell them, why are you crying? And they tell her, we will never forgive ourselves for what we did. Like, what did you do? You are being a soldier fighting for a piece of land. What are you crying about? Anyway, then she tries to go and have lunch. When she went to have lunch, she can hear this sound from the lunch while she's eating her knedelach, good food in the Israeli army, best food in the world. So she's eating her knedelach and her lunch, and she can hear, ooh, ooh. She thought there was a war going on. Who knows, nuclear weapons? Sounded very weird, like creepy. So she goes outside, and what does she see? She saw 2,000 boys crying. But crying like a baby when you change their nappy and they're not in the mood for you, like that. She never forgot that. Until this day, she says, there must be something bad going on that they're not telling us about. I say to her, what? She says, I don't know. Nobody knows. The boys wouldn't tell me. I mean her.
Let's have a look at the two incidents she mentioned in the video. The King David Hotel, 1946. On the 22nd July 1946, the St. David's Hotel Jerusalem was destroyed, and the destroying of St. David's Hotel Jerusalem occurred, resulting in Royal Signals suffering its first casualties in post-war Palestine. During the latter part of Palestine Mandate, the headquarters of British troops in Palestine was in the southern wing of the King David Hotel in Jerusalem, alongside the Mandate Secretariat. The Royal Signals RAN telephone exchange was in the basement. Now, just after midday, 6 men, Jewish members of IGAN disguised as Arab workers, arrived at the hotel service bay in a delivery truck. They overpowered and locked up the hotel staff working in the area and unloaded milk cans filled with explosives, which they then moved into Regent's Cafe under the southwest corner of the building. It was at this stage of the attack that the destroyers or the attackers were confronted by Captain A.D. McIntosh of 3 Squadron. Palestine Command Signal Rigid met. His suspicions were raised by the activity outside the telephone exchange. He went to investigate, and while grappling with one of the attackers, was pew-pewed in the stomach by another of the attackers. Now, soon afterwards, the hotel clerk managed to get to his office and press the alarm bell, which sounded at Jerusalem District Police headquarters. A patrol car was dispatched. As the attackers made their escape, they were led at by military police. 2 attackers being hit before a diversionary explosion was set off nearby. In the confusion, the attackers escaped. It soon became apparent that something had occurred in the hotel, and several military and police officers went into the hotel basement to investigate. As they moved towards Regents at about 12:30 p.m., a huge explosion demolished much of the hotel's southern wing. The blast unalived 91 people and injured 45. 6 survivors were rescued from the rubble over the next few days by soldiers of 9th Airborne Squadron, Royal Engineers. Among the unalived was Royal Signals Warrant Officer Class 2 Company Sergeant Major Leonard Charles Adams, who had been working in the Defense Security headquarters. Captain McIntosh was unalived of his wounds the next day, and they were buried beside each other. Israeli commandos also raided a Gaza-bound aid flotilla in 2010, unaliving 9 people and igniting a diplomatic row. Now, Turkey's naval forces would escort Turkish humanitarian aid ships bound for the Gaza Strip, and the Turkish Prime Minister did say, following Israel's refusal to apologize for its deadly raid on aid flotilla heading to the besieged Palestinian territory in May 2010. "We have humanitarian aid to be sent there, and our humanitarian aid will not be attacked anymore, as happened to the Mavi Marmara," he told the Al Jazeera. Now, Turkish warships will be tasked with protecting the Turkish boats bringing humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip. Israeli commandos boarded the Mavi Marmara, the ship which aimed to break Israel's naval blockade, and unalived 9 people, 8 Turks and 1 U.S. citizen of Turkish origin, in international waters, causing a diplomatic row between the 2 countries. Now, Erdogan also said that Turkey would closely monitor international waters and had taken steps to prevent what he called Israel's unilateral exploitation of natural resources in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. Turkey's opposition too criticized Erdogan's comments, and the leader of the main opposition Republican People's Party said Turkey's Red Crescent was already sending aid to Gaza without breaching the blockade. He called on Erdogan to justify in parliament the threats to send warships to escort aid ships. And Turkish-Israeli relations hit a low last week after a UN report on the deadly Israeli raid on a Gaza-bound aid ship said that Israel's naval blockade of Gaza was legitimate, but its raid on the flotilla trying to break the blockade was excessive and unreasonable. Turkey has since expelled top Israeli diplomats, cut military ties with the country, pledged to lobby other nations in support of the Palestinians' statehood bid at the UN in September, and promised increased Turkish naval patrols in the Mediterranean. Now, Israel expressed regret for loss of lives aboard the flotilla, but has refused to apologize, saying its forces attacked in self-defense. Turkey, however, is still seeking an apology in order to normalize a relationship once seen as a cornerstone of regional stability. Now, these 2 are the incidents she proudly confirmed Israel being responsible of, and her saying that people staying ignorant is good for them is crazy. I don't think people are still ignorant anymore about who or what Israel is now. This conflict has really helped reveal a lot of things about Israel, and we get to see a number of them confessing and telling us the truth. We have come to the end of the video. Please feel free to share your own views or your take on this video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.